First day of camp, is that usually an exciting day?
It's always an exciting day. Always got a bit of jitters. Always tough to fall asleep, and yeah, it's a fun day
You still get jitters now?
every time. Still, it's I don't know. I've always said that, or I've always thought that you get that nervous feeling, you get that nervous energy, and it's different than when you're younger, but you still have those little, that little bit of anxiety, and but you use it for good. So I don't think that'll ever go away.
How do your kids feel about
My my youngest is the most excited. He's 2, and he's a spitting image of my 6-year-old. So he's obsessed with hockey and wants to watch highlight videos all day and wants to watch. He went on the ice last year at the end of the year, so he wants to see himself on the ice, and he's pretty fired up.
So many of the returning players, even the new guys, showed up here pretty early. It's been a couple of weeks where you guys have had some skates, and guys have come and gone, of course, but it's been a much bigger group than in years past. What does it tell you about the buy-in, and what's it like just to see how different things are now compared to a year ago when camp started? You guys have that foundation in place in terms of the room.
Yeah, it's nice that guys wanted to come back. Guys wanted to spend time with each other, and they yearn for that camaraderie and that competition. And, guys went out and they golfed a lot of different places, and, they're just starting to do different things out in the community together. And, I've said it before, it reminds me when I was on the island and I was younger, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to be together. And something that we're definitely building, an overall culture, overall game here, but that's something that is a great foundation, great first step.
Kyle, you talked last year at the end of last season how some of the stuff, not everything can carry over, but some things can carry over in the way that you guys finished. How confident are you that there is still can be some carryover, but you just can't say that this team just can't say, well, we showed up, it's going to happen automatically?
You got to work. Everybody's been off for 4 or 5 months, and it's not like you just snap your fingers and you're in the same condition that you were last year. It doesn't matter. You got to get into game shape. You got to get those reps in. You got to have the buy-in 100% again. You can't have the mindset of, if we had a good end of last season, so we should get some respect and we should be able to step our foot off the gas a little bit and just get results. Like that's not okay, and that's not going to be our mindset. And we're going to work for everything that we're going to get, especially here in camp. And that's what I'm most excited about. Is it is a new year. Everybody starts at 0-0, and yeah, sure. There's the camaraderie. There's the fellowship. There's the way that we came together, and that's going to remain. But you got to go earn your results, no matter what.
I always saw in the team video that they put out about free agency how Kevin gave you the heads up and suggested maybe you call Comrie. This is the third GM you've played for here. How has your relationship with Kevin really evolved in the last year and a half?
It's evolved a lot. It's always difficult when you have turnover. You spoke about it. It's been 3 GMs and 4 coaches, and it feels like we definitely have some stability. And Kevin's done a heck of a job providing that for us, and Donnie. And when he took over, I went in and we had a really good initial conversation, but it didn't go a whole lot further than that for a while. And I'm not going to go reach out just to go reach out, and it has to happen the way that it's supposed to, and it has to be a natural thing, and it seemed to do that. And we share a lot of the same values as people, and when you do that, or when you share those things, it's easy to cultivate a positive relationship, and I think that we've done that over the last year and a half.
Rasmus took some massive steps last year. I don't know if the ice. Just when he walks in today, or whenever you saw him for the first time, just what do you see from him that's different than maybe a year ago when you saw him a few weeks ago for the first time?
Asplin or Darlene?
Bellingham Saturday.
I'm kidding. I knew who you were talking about. Ashby looks really good too. So, he's got a quiet confidence about him, and the biggest thing that I notice is that he's comfortable in his own skin, and he just looks like he's matured about 3 years in the last 12 months, and that's a really positive thing, and it's like he knows he doesn't have to say stuff now, and he's not forcing it. It's just who he is. He's just competitive, but he also observes too, and I think that's something that he's really grown into is his ability to perceive what's going on and just take it all in, and then form his own opinion and able to speak on it. So it's been really nice to see him grow up a little bit, and obviously his game blossomed last year, and he turned into a heck of a defenseman, and he's only going to continue to get better.
He was up here. There's an assertiveness maybe to him that wasn't there before. And he said, "I really realized early last season if I'm myself and not trying to be anyone, that's going to help me." And it's he stopped trying to impress other people in that sense. I mean, you talked about, but what about that? It's just how encouraging is that to have a guy with that kind of talent who showed it on the ice to be coming into the season?
Well, nobody's going to be at their best if they're trying to be somebody that they're not. It's just a fact of life. If you're trying to write for somebody else, you're not going to be the best journalist that you can be. You got to write for what you believe in, and it's the same as a hockey player. And as a person, like you have to be comfortable in your own skin enough to be able to make a hard decision. And there's times where young guys, they try to fit in, they try to do something that they're not comfortable with because they feel like the group will accept that behavior. And for him to hear that quote and for him to come to that realization is a huge thing. And I think it's something that probably freed him up mentally and allowed his game to take off to another level. So, hopefully we can get all the guys in that mindset, and something that I definitely preach.
You've been a leader here since you arrived in Buffalo, but last season it was a different situation. You guys, in a lot of ways, were starting clean slate with the culture. Did you learn anything about yourself as a leader or grow in any way just through the experience of last season and all you guys went through and what you built together?
I did. I grew in a couple different ways. The biggest one for myself personally was that I just quit trying to put fires out, and I just said, I'm just going to take care of myself. And when I did that, everything else just kind of seemed to fall into place. And that's like the airplane mantra: put your own mask on before everybody else's. So, when I started to do that, it just seemed to kind of unlock something. And I've been myself for 6 years, and that's not going to change. And I'm going to continue to be honest with everybody that I interact with. And I haven't changed. I'm not a different person. But in the situation that we're in, it's fun to watch a group that is moldable and is able to grow in a lot of different ways. It's just fun to watch them flourish together, and it's something that I try to not give advice. If somebody asks me a question, I'm going to answer it or provide little tidbits here and there. But they have to figure a lot of things out on their own, and I try and help create a culture that allows that.
How does it feel to be able to do that now as opposed to 3-4 years ago where things were obviously different and maybe a little bit tighter?
It feels good. It feels good that we're getting there. Culturally, it feels like we're in a really good place, and we've had our challenges here over the past. I've been here 6 years. We've definitely had challenging times, and to see where the city is and the excitement that there is over this team and the team in the South Towns, the Bills, like, it's fun to be around. And it's something that people notice. And, I just love being a part of it. And it was a fun summer around town talking to people about it for sure.
When Donnie came in, and one of his messages is he just kept repeating this message: be better. As simple as that is, and maybe the simplicity of it is important. How does that go around? How does that is accepted by the players, knowing that this team has made some steps, but needs overall to be better to achieve another goal?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of players that are hungry to do that. And, from the first day of camp, we got guys here a long time, working on their games just because they want to be better and they want to be around, and they're a bunch of rink rats who just love the game of hockey. And so I think that mantra is something that the group's really going to grasp. And you don't have to tell a lot of those guys to do that. They're just gonna do it because they want to be the best. You got guys like Dolls and Mitzi and Cousins and Samuelson, all these young guys that just want more. They all want more ice. They want the puck with 5 minutes left in a tie game. There's a ton of guys on our team that have that mentality. So I think that's a pretty good place to start for us this year.
What's possible this season?
A lot, I would say. There's a potential that you're always looking for, and we don't know what that is. There's always surprise teams in the league, both ways, and nobody has really any idea who those teams are going to be. There's probably not one reporter in the league that took LA to make the playoffs last year, or the Rangers to be in the conference finals. So there's always surprise teams, but that can go both ways. And you got to have a little bit of luck, but you have to make sure that you're in it every day. And that's something that the young guys in there, they're learning how to be pros, and that potential is only going to be greater as they continue to mature in their development. Thanks, guys.